For players and fans alike, serious issues can impact their mental health, from anxiety and stress to inequality and discrimination. Recognising this, Forest are committed to fostering accountability and support, creating an environment where anyone can speak up and no one has to suffer in silence.
In the 1990s, Forest footballer Jason Lee became the target of a series of jokes on the popular UK television show Fantasy Football League. Hosts Frank Skinner and David Baddiel repeatedly mocked how Jason wore his hair, which contributed to derogatory chants from fans towards Jason and other black players, and negative stereotypes that were repeated in mainstream media. It's now recognised that this show crossed the line into bullying and perpetuating harmful racial prejudices, leading to broader discussions about the impact of media and comedy on individuals. David Baddiel recently admitted publicly that their actions towards Jason were racist.
I think it was a different time, and I understand that. I mean, when you talk to young people now and you show them clips of not only what I had to go through, some of the TV shows that used to be on TV, people look at it and think, how was that even able to happen? How? Football fans, you know, they're tribal, they love a chant, they love a song. There's been lots of songs that have been directed towards me, good and bad.
Football and football support is a very tribal sort of activity. There's an absolute commitment and dedication on the part of supporters. And when you go to football ground, that resonates between the supporters and the players. You know, and you get that tribal sense.
So it's not as if I was being weak-minded in the fact that somebody wanted to sing a chant, but where the origins of the song and the show and the bullying, and I mean, it's been well documented that it went too far, and it not only impacted myself, but it impacted the whole community. Lots of people that have come after me that have wore a similar hairstyle, have had to go to school. You know, people have wrote to me, people have contacted me, spoke to me about their experiences. When I was going through it, when I was a younger person playing, I wouldn't have spoke about it. It was, as I said, it was a different time. I just wanted to get on with it, play through it, move forward. But I do encourage young players now to speak about things, and you know, I don't want anybody to suffer in silence and have to go through stuff and endure stuff that's, you know, it's painful to them. Today I don't enjoy it. It's always going to be with me. You say young people, they don't know where it starts, but they will sing the song, they will jump on it.
Trying to throw the ball out, though. It's kept in play by Stone. There should be a second, it is by Lee!
Culturally, I don't think it was correct to ridicule somebody, especially when you're talking about Rastafarianism and the fact that dreadlocks do represent, you know, identity. You know, people don't understand how just feeling hate, you know, it's football at the end of the day, but we know it's tribal, and people can overstep the mark. And if you was to ask some of the people that watch games, how is it, why do they behave that way, they wouldn't be able to explain. So people lose their mind literally when they come to watch a football match. But in terms of players, I think it's unfair to say to any individual that, you know what, if you want to be successful, you're going to have to endure this, this and this.
What I can say is the older and older I get, the less I have cared about what people think. I think the older I've got, the more times I've played for Forest. I think I've just become the person I am, and I'm happy with that.
We as footballers have battle with mental health. Like you said, we lose a game, we drop off. We go home, it's stressful with the family life or without family life. Something could have happened, you've lost a parent, you could have lost a family member. Don't take football home. When you come through my gate here, your dad, switch off. You've got a day off tomorrow with the kids. It's very important that you do not take it away, because it'll eat you, and it'll ruin your day, because we've all had bad days, we've all had good days. And I think for me, I've had that constant of never too high, never too low. It's such a cliche saying, but if anybody that's going through whatever they're going through, I would just say live on that basis. Just there's going to be times when it's awful, and there's going to be times when you're like on top of the world. But if you can keep that balance, I think it's definitely helped me as being a father, definitely helped me being a husband. And long may it continue. And trying to educate other people to have that mindset is great. We're like spinning plates. I've got 4 kids, so it's like we're constantly, both me and my wife, just spinning. At any given moment, one could be wobbling like mad, and you're like, right, let's go get that one. So you put all your focus on that plate, and there's 3 more that are all losing. So it's just like keeping that balance and making sure everything's okay. But I couldn't do that, being dad, if I brought that home. So for me, it was huge. It's huge to literally say, no, right, Harry Toffler, the footballer's there, and then Harry Toffler, the dad, is here.
Something that's a bit difficult now is with all the media attention and how much the camera is on football players now as opposed to what it was back then. It kind of adds to the pressure a little bit of making sure you're doing everything right, making sure even if it's not on the pitch, you're being a good role model, you're doing the right things.
You have to be courageous to be honest with yourself, talk to people. Be yourself. Is one of the best advice I ever got was be yourself. If you're talking about racism, that's only 1%. 99% people are good people. They're very welcoming. So that is in any walk of life, in any country. Doesn't matter where you are. And so you just have to confront your demons.
Forest means so much to me because it's always been part of my life pretty much ever since I was a child. Like when I was a kid, my dad would have was on the radio on a Saturday and we'd be in the kitchen sitting around the radio and then we'd come to some matches. We have had a couple of incidents, unfortunately, here, which the Notts Police football were great. They've identified and dealt with the people. No one's born homophobic. It's learned behaviour, so he's obviously learnt that from family, from the outside world, because there was a bit of a homophobic rhetoric, not just in football. So my advice to a queer child would be that you are valid, you can be queer and you can like football. You might come up against some barriers, but I can't get emotional. There is people out there to help you. There's groups like us that can help you. But yeah, just talk, don't keep it all in and just let it all out and just seek that support and that guidance, and you're not alone.
Every member of the Forest family shapes our club's culture. When players lead by example and fans create an inclusive atmosphere, it builds a more supportive, respectful and accountable club for everyone.